Hey everybody, I'm Sifu Z.
Johan.
And this is the How to Apply Wing Chun series. If you haven't done so already, check out the Intro to Wing Chun, which is the first part of this group of videos that we've been doing. And then come on back to the Apply Wing Chun, which is sort of the more advanced version.
Yeah.
So if you've already done that, welcome back. And today we're going to go over, this one's important. I almost don't want to say it right away just because it's just so precious. But I'll introduce it in the form of a joke, right? Whenever anyone says, okay, could you show me what to do if someone is about to attack you, a violent, vicious attacker, and they're about to attack you, what do you do? Now, other than run, we're assuming you can't run, right? So you can't run and donkey out of there, right? So, and my answer is always this: strike a kung fu pose.
Right.
Strike a kung fu pose, of course. That usually will scare them away, and they'll run in fear of their own lives.
Hopefully.
I've been telling that joke for a long time. I don't know, I haven't taken a tally, but not everybody gets that joke. Maybe because it's not really quite a joke. Mm-hmm. Now, what I mean by this, and this is my introduction to what I call the Madonna. Now, what the Madonna is, and now you get it, right? Because one of Madonna's biggest hits was that whole strike a pose.
Strike a pose.
Strike a pose, right?
Vogue.
Vogue, strike a pose. Yeah, right? Now, she kind of two-dimensionalized the Wing Chun. I don't think she really trained in Wing Chun, but man, she had an intuition there. Can't ever say Madonna didn't have an intuition, right?
Right.
So what we're talking about here, and this is why I say, if you haven't done so already, go the Intro to Wing Chun. In particular, the third lesson, which is the postures. Because the upper body postures is exactly what I'm talking about here. There's a bunch of them and I won't go over them all. But striking a pose is essentially getting your brat, get the brat down, and then you gotta get the hula hips. But while you're getting the hula hips, and all of this really comes at the same time, the brat, the hula hips, and the Madonna, the strike a pose. Now, I'm going to show you one of the most important elements of strike a pose, which is, for instance, if someone's behind you and about to choke you out, right? You want to get into the right position, right? I sink, I get the brat, I do the hula hips, right? Bam, right? Really escape my hits out. But I've got this, let them let go. I've already done my Madonna, right? Which is to protect the neck, right? Protect the neck. So he comes in and I'm like, whoa, right away, I'm ready, right? And I even have my, what we call our Wu Sao, our waiting hand, in there as well, comes in right away, right? And our strike a pose, right? Now from here, it's so much easier to deal with this situation. Yeah, that's the Madonna, right? You strike a pose, strike a pose. Now, sometimes that pose might be out here. You get it out here, But notice I'm sinking, I'm pivoting, and I get my Madonna, right? In this case, I'm getting the Manakawa Classic. Boom, pivot, bonsao, wusao. Yeah, but sometimes you might be tansao, right? Or you might be fuksao. Hoo-hoo, right? Ha-ha, right? Fuksao. So that's the Madonna. You got to strike a pose. Now, there's other uses for this as well. Now, you stand over here and switch your footwork so they can see. Yeah, and so now I have my mansao. I do my mansao pose. Now you go to strike, right? And I pivot. I sink, I pivot, and I tansao. Right? And there's my tansao. And then I can go back to the center. Bam, bam. And protect my center line. Right? Again, same thing, right? I'm here and bam, I tansao. Right? And yeah, this is coming. So there you go. Strike a pose, right? Right. I like the more open hand rather than the fist. It's always, I don't know if I've gone over that yet, but we will soon.
Yeah.
Right. But there's yet another, now an uppercut, right? Strike a pose, fuksao. No, upper. Right? Yeah. Strike a pose. All right? Now notice, even though he didn't throw the right strike, I'm still in the ballpark. And that's what these postures or the Madonna does, is it keeps everything all in the holy grail here, the holy center, right? And this is the important part of this whole thing, is maintaining your center in relation to your opponent and your opponent's attack. So there's another element of this. So you throw a punch, whatever that punch might be, bam, right? Or straight punch, right? And bam, he threw something else, right? But still was ready, right? Bam, right? Always just be ready to get your Madonna in there, right? Strike a pose, whatever it might be, right? Even if they fake you, strike a pose. Come on, strike a pose, right? You see what I'm saying? That's the Madonna. You strike a pose, whatever that pose might be, right? It's always going to be in the general ballpark. Maybe I throw I throw a bonsao on a tansao, but I might have to adjust it into a tansao and a fuksao maybe, right? Or a paksao over top. Wah! Right? Mm-hmm. So, all right, guys. That's the Madonna. Don't tell anybody, it's a secret.
Strike a pose.
Strike a pose. Unless you're a Wing Chun, then you might be familiar. You might be a bit familiar with this concept. All right, we'll see you next lesson. Until next time. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And if you haven't done so already, check out our Wing Chun Talk. We have a segment in there called Other People's Wing Chun, where we check out other people's Wing Chun.
Yep.
And
Patreon. You can train with us on Patreon.
They're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Right. If you like what we're doing here, you can make a one-time contribution for any amount over at PayPal.me/Sifu Z. If you want more information on Wing Chun and training with me, you can go to SifuZ.com. And what Johan was saying is very true. If you wanted to start training with us, you could do so for as little as $1. You do so for free, but you can also jump in for as little as $1 and start upping your game. And you can do that over at patreon.com/, you guessed it, Sifu Z. All right, guys, we'll see you next lesson.